Welcome back. This is Toni Wade, the Compassionate Investor, and Ben Dow with the 5-Minute Landlord Podcast. We're talking about wholesaling. Now, this is now after you got a deal, you got a hot deal. Now, just ignore the fact that my deal was $100,000 we're dealing with right now, but you got your hot deal, okay, in a hot market, and now you need to know what to do with it. How do you sell that property?
How are you going to do it? Like if you don't have any connections or buyers, how do you market it?
So me personally, when I got into this, I did not have no big, long, drawn out buyers list. And I know a lot of people who get into this, they're saying build a long, big buyers list. But how can you build a buyers list unless you have something to start with? So I actually like getting a property first. I get something that's hot that somebody's gonna want. Don't get something in the hood that nobody wants, because that's gonna be a hard one to build on. So you really have to make sure you have a hot deal on your very first one once you're starting to build your buyers list. Because what I do is I would go to Facebook in one of the groups. Now I've already signed on all the groups. I would say that's some pre-work you can do in advance of getting a deal, is go ahead and go to Facebook as your personal profile and sign up to as many groups as you can related to real estate wholesaling, real estate investing in your particular area. And I would be specific to your actual local area. Because if you go too broad, marketing out there means nothing. You'll get drops. But if you go to St. Louis Invest, STL, St. Louis Real Estate Investors, St. Louis Wholesalers, like look up as many groups and join as many as you can. That's what I did when I first got in, just to do some pre-work so that at least I'm in the groups. And I started talking, because the moment you just start talking, you don't want to be that one that comes in.
Spammy and just like putting up deals without any value. You want to be commenting and
and they don't know you. So if they don't know you, you just somebody in there spamming, trying to sell your deal. You have to build relationships. So I would encourage you, because that's what I did. I have a lot of relationships, so people know who I am now in St. Louis in those arenas when I first started, because I had deals. So you first get in, you start commenting to other people's posts, things that you're learning too. You're learning business acumen because you're new. You don't know, I ain't gonna say that saying. I was saying your butt from your tail, something like that. But you don't know what you don't know yet. So get out there and start learning the acumen as you're building out your wholesaling business, and let people know who you are, so that as you're making comments, when you actually have something hot you can work with, then you could talk about building your buyers list. So you would take that deal once it's a good deal and it's under contract. Because if it's not under contract, somebody's going to take that from you. But anyway, you'll put it out there. And I still don't put the address. Do you put the address when you do? Have you ever seen?
No, I just put the street.
Yeah. Or I might put the first two, or the first
2 digits.
The first 2 digits, and the last 2 are X'd out, just so that I'm not disclosing the actual address. And then I would still put a picture or some of the details. Hot deal. I put the specifics. If you're interested, PM me. And people, if it's a hot deal, they're going to start PMing you. And guess what? Now you're building a buyer's list. I would say you could probably also have your database system already set up. So whatever CRM system you're going to use, so that as they start coming in, I would put a link on there. If you're not interested in this, click here to join my buyer's list. So now you got a hot deal, and you got people joining your buyers list. So if they're not really ready to buy right now, but they want to get on your buyers list to find out what else you got coming down the pike, now you've got a buyers list.
And that means email. That means getting their email and saving it, and then emailing them the deal directly, and then emailing them again after you start getting more deals, and it'll just grow, especially in Facebook groups.
Exactly. And that is the best way to grow this, to where it's almost like your buyers list should be so large, because you had a hot deal, you came with something, you gave something, and now you're wanting to get people to join your buyers list. I've seen people all the time go out there and just say, join my buyers list, join myself. I'm just like, I don't click those. Do you?
No. Because they don't have value. I haven't seen anything yet, and I just think that there's a lot of rookies and novices in this game.
A lot.
So I don't trust a lot of them. If I've seen you around and I trust you, then I'm going to follow your buyers list.
So we're talking about marketing, and you see a lot of it is driven by people, you building relationships with people. Because when you bring value, more than just simply bringing a deal, clearly, I mean, people want deals, but you have to build and bring value to a group of people who can learn to trust you and like you. Once you've done that, when you have the deals, it's automatically going to come and you will grow really fast. I feel like the people who've mastered wholesaling have spent a lot of time and energy in building their brand around being a good wholesaler.
Right. And that means posting of value, whether it be links or asking great questions. Some people will do a vlog or a podcast. Because if I see people having that, I'm like, oh, you're really serious. If this person has a deal, I'm taking a look because I see you on all these platforms and you're taking this seriously.
Exactly. So once you get that deal, you put it out there on Facebook, they will come. You will have deals. And now it's just a matter of determining who, then you have to coordinate showing at the property. So you'll be coordinating all of those things with the person you're buying the property from. You'll set that up because this is a part of your due diligence. You built that into the contract. So I set them up. I don't like people and I let people know up front, if people want to see the address, I give the address out in PMs, but I set the tone with how I need them responding. Because like if the property's occupied, I let them know up front, don't go by that property without you contact me. We will coordinate a showing on this day so that people can come through and see. And your job is to make sure too, let's say that it is an occupied property and people are in it, you coordinate that they can't be there and you just let them know, hey, I've got my team coming in, we're going to inspect the property on this time from 1 to 2 o'clock, can you be gone for that hour? And then you coordinate that. Don't ever just let people just randomly drop by the property without your knowledge. And I do that up front because people will still try to do it though. Have you ever had that happen to you?
Yeah. People try to drive by, get a scope a peek at it, and then that can piss off the tenant and the seller. So just be careful with that. Yeah,
you definitely do not want your seller mad at you because now you posted their property and you got all these people coming by, what's going on, and they get panicky. Your job is to keep it calm. So if you set the tone and you let people know what your expectations are up front, and then you set the tone with your seller so that at the end of the day he's going to be happy, you're just doing your due diligence by this deal and you make that happen. So you always go into it under the pretense that you are buying this property, because you are, but you may be buying it through assigning the contract to somebody else. That's how I go through every last one of them. I don't go through, well, maybe I will or maybe I won't. No, we're buying the property. I'm putting it under contract. I have my due diligence period to get that done, and I'm going to do what's necessary to make sure that we close by the date that we've scheduled to close. And it's just that simple. So if you like the information that you heard today related to wholesaling, because once again, you can go to several different platforms and learn about this wholesaling. But if you want more information from either me or Ben, or you had some questions with what we talked about, then give me some comments and we will definitely be able to respond. So we'll be back in just a moment.